Hi friends, I wanted to explain this is Dinah Zike midterm project that you guys are going to be completing for integrating the arts. This is worth 50 points, which is a good amount of points for this particular course. So I've explained it in class, but I also want to explain it to you in on video, just in case you need to go back and listen to it, especially maybe before you come to class or when you think you're finished with this project, by listening to this video again and making sure that you have fulfilled all the requirements will really help you log that A in the grade book. So let's look at this really quick. You should have an exact copy of this. It says during the class period, you need to create a lesson that you will use in your future classroom. During the class period, now, you do not have to do it specifically when we are meeting, because we are not meeting during this specific class period, but you can do it anytime on your own time. I will tell you that resources will be available when the class normally meets, and Jackie will be in her office and let you in if you do need paper, staples, those type of things. But you need to complete this at some point, and if you need resources from the education department, they are available during the class period. The topic and activities that you choose to create need to be age appropriate for the degree you are receiving. So what you are really doing is you are getting that copy of that Dinah Zike's book that was on the required textbook list. And you are choosing one of those activities to do in class. If you do not have that book for some reason, I know that the library has it, and it should be on hold. If it's not on hold, don't be the person that takes it out of the library. Go to the library, look at what you need to look at, and then just leave the resource there. But what you are going to do is you're going to do one of these Dinah Zike projects. Now, these Dinah Zike projects you have done before, you just didn't know that they were what they were. These are the foldables that I incorporate a lot, the graphic organizers that I incorporate a lot. That is her work. So what you're going to do is you're essentially going to choose one of her foldables, one of her teaching ideas, and you are going to attach it to a specific grade. It needs to be age appropriate for the grade you're choosing, and then you are going to attach it to a age appropriate, age specific standard. So if you want to teach preschool, do a preschool one. If you are wanting to do PK3, do an elementary one. If you are in high school, do one that could be applicable to high school. But you're going to create an activity that incorporates one of her instructional activities. Again, have that standard that you will find in your future curriculum. If you're doing something that you're not going to eventually teach, then it's just a waste of time, and we don't want to do that. And it needs to include some type of music or drama or movement. We are really tying in everything that we've learned so far into your into this project. Now, if I were you, I would kill two birds with one stone and make sure that this can be used in your thematic unit that you are writing for integrating the arts. If I were you, that's what I would do, because this could be one of your lesson plans that you are doing. Okay, so let's look over this. It says, look over the Zike activity options from your book. Do that. And then you're going to choose one Zike activity option. And then you're going to post your activity on Canvas. An activity may only be chosen once. So if you want first choice, I would get after this and go ahead and make your selection. What you post is what you have to do, so don't just throw something up there. But make sure that you do post it on Canvas. If someone's already taken it, you can't have it. It's time-stamped. We know who got up there first. And then you're going to choose one standard to base your project on. And you're going to create a project that will help you teach the standard to the class. You're going to build a sample. These are going to be done. This right here should be April 29th. April 28th is a Sunday. So you're going to present your projects on the next class period. But really why I'm doing this is because of this presentation piece that is ever so important, that I want to make sure that we really do well. Your presentation is a presentation to your educated peers. So you need to get up there and you need to present a professional mini workshop. It needs to appear that you are well educated, you know what you're talking about, and you have practice doing this. With that said, you need to have, if we have 10 groups, if we have 10 people in our class, you need to have 10 sets of everything already ready to go, already cut out, 10 packs of markers. You need to be ready to roll when it is your turn to present your professional mini workshop. You need to have practiced presenting this topic, which means when you are folding, please do not think you can wing it, because it is, when you're folding and trying to teach others how to fold, it's a lot more complicated. So teach it to your dog, teach it to your goldfish, teach it to your mom over Easter break. Just make sure that you understand how to do this well. So you are going to create a typed paper for each of your peers, listing the standard that you are addressing and the detailed directions on how to build the Zike activity. So when you get up there, you're going to say, hi, my name, this is what I'm doing, this is the activity I'm doing, this is for the age 4, and this is the standards addressing. Here's a piece of paper that walks you through how to do it. Because the goal of this is not just to simply check off for this 50 points. It's to share with others, hey, I found this activity. It's good. You could probably steal this idea, twist it a little bit, and make it match your specific grade that you want to teach. Okay, so we need to be prepared to communicate to your peers, how would you use this activity in your classroom? What other ways, this is really important, what other ways you could make the activity cross-curricular and incorporate music, drama, or movement. You don't have to incorporate right then music, drama, or movement, but I would say, oh, I could throw in this song. I could throw in this drama piece or this movement piece. You need to have supplies ready to lead your peers in creating the Zike's activity. So you are going to give them a piece of paper, you're going to lead a conversation, and you are going to give them all the supplies to create this. And you are going to have them create it right then and there. Now, let's say you are doing something on the life cycle of the butterfly, and in the class, you would really have them fill out this portion, this portion, this portion, and end up taking 45 minutes. What you are going to show them is how to make the base of the foldable, or the base of the thing that you are doing, because then you are then going to lead a discussion on what other ways this activity can be used. So if it's kind of blank, they could say, oh, I could take this and I could shove it into this social studies lesson plan for a 4th grader, or I could really pull this back to a literacy standard for a kindergarten class. Okay, so let's look at this down here. This is really important. This is your rubric. So it's 50 points. You get 5 points for if the activity is a proper presentation of your future degree. Okay, so is it what you're going to be licensed in a couple years? 5 points for that. Do the standards align with the activity? Did you pull a standard that makes sense, that's showing that you can assess or teach that standard using this Dinah Zike instructional activity? 5 points for if the project is completed on time in a professional manner. This is where most people lose their points, because you might have thought it's on time, but it's not professional, because you're saying, you're acting nervous. Maybe you haven't counted out your things. You need to be a well-oiled machine ready to present to your peers. 10 points for that typed paper for the peers, a copy for each one. And on that piece of paper, there's the standard that you're using, detailed directions of the activity. And then you get 25 points for the workshop that you lead. Did you lead the activity in building the instructional activity? Did you lead a strong discussion? Okay, this right here, this part, this 25 points is showing, can you use your academic language to show how you are going to foster the arts in your classroom? Do you understand multiple intelligences? Do you understand how students learn in different ways? So you are really going to wow me with your academic language right here. If you were in an interview and a principal were to ask, how are you going to hit multiple intelligences? This right here would, this discussion that you're going to have with the class that you are going to lead is a good practice for that. Okay, how comfortable do you feel talking about this subject to your peers? Can you hold your own? And then, of course, you get a total of those 50 points. This is the Dinah Zike's midterm for integrating the arts. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, you are presenting it and ready to roll on April 29th. On that date, we're also going to be looking over your unit outline that will be printed off as well. So, need anything, please let me know. Make sure that you are using the resources of the education department. So this should not cost you any money at all. If you need anything, please let me know, and I'll see y'all in a couple days.